time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielson, Matt Kassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
All right, 12:01 on a game day. Oilers and Panthers for the Stanley Cup tonight. Remember when we were saying that before? That was so exciting and so much fun. Those are the days.
Those were the days.
Those were the days. Now, I mean, the Oilers are in a familiar spot, having lost at least 3 in a row against the Florida Panthers. So we'll see. We'll see how they react tonight. I mean, last time they'd lost 3 in a row, it was a game. Actually, the last time they'd lost 3 in a row was against the Florida Panthers, and they managed to win 3 in a row too. Yeah, I guess it would have been. Anyway, hi Cass, how are you?
I'm good, guys. I'm good. I love that, Dusty. That was funny. It made me
Yeah, I was. I don't know. Maybe
slight poke.
Yeah, just a little prod. Something's got to jumpstart these guys.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that's see what's happening. So, Gager, what are you working on over in the kitchen there?
I'll have to just have to quickly run over there and bring it over.
What are you?
Just a little sausages.
Now, is this the one with the intestines wrapped around the outside?
They all have intestines wrapped around.
I did not know that it was
every
intestines.
sausage ever made.
Yeah, I did not know that's what it was until.
Didn't you see like Kramer and Newman in the making sausage?
Yeah, I did see them making sausage, but that was with intestines too.
What do you think it is?
That's like quite literally every sausage ever made.
The casing is intestines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it is just meat jammed into the intestine.
Yeah. Well, seasoned meat that they grind up and put in there.
And it's okay to eat this then.
You've been eating it for,
I guess, but like some of the sausage stuff I'll get at like Save On and stuff like the meat. You take the thing off.
Oh,
like some of that
cured
stuff.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
like sometimes it's paper, right? Like salami and things like that.
Yeah,
like
that type of stuff.
It's a waxed
You
piece.
eat that, and I'm like, this is not intestines. This is just wax paper. What is this?
So I know. No, that's sausage.
We were talking about this today.
Didn't Corey
So
tell you?
Is that why you brought this in today, or is it just a coincidence?
Yeah, no, I heard it, and then I thought I'd bring in some lunch here for a few hours.
All right, well there you go.
Yeah,
it smells nice.
Does it?
It smells nice over there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say that. Barry the Cheater says, Matt's haircut, so sharp, could cut glass. Cass, when did you get this hair done? We in a classic mute situation?
Yeah.
I'm getting to the point where it actually it needs a haircut. So it's been a while.
Oh, really? Well, it looks tight today, buddy.
Maybe a good hair day. Maybe a good hair day.
Not maybe.
Just
that's a very good hair day.
Cass,
trying to keep up with mommy.
On pre and post, do you look at Tommy's hair? And is there any sort of competition? Do you look at that and go, damn, I gotta get some of that Swedish hair cream that Tommy has, or do you go a completely different route?
I'm not a Swedish hair cream. It's different. It is still a cream, paste based, but not the Swedish stuff. I'm not a big spender in that regard. I'm like, well, you can find something now. I'm not using like Dippity Doo.
No,
we're not using.
I used to use Dippity Doo all the time.
Dippity Doo is a staple in the Oilers dressing room.
Was it?
Yeah.
I was just looking because I thought I had my hair cream with me in my bag, but I guess I don't.
They had that and right guard spray for deodorant.
So they would provide that for you? The only option was Dippity Doo?
What's that?
They still have that spray. Like whether it's Right Guard or like one of the different brands, they still always have it. Which you get. You don't want everyone sharing pit juice. So
no, I guess.
Yeah, you got to use the spray. I actually think some dressing rooms still have hair gel because they have like on the road, like there's like a standard that teams have to have that they'll have there for the visiting team. So it's just less stuff for road teams to pack. And I think there's still some teams that have straight up hair gel that still do that. I know a lot of them do. I can't imagine it gets much use, but
when I first started using Dippity Doo, I thought it was so cool. Like Dippity Doo had a small window there where it was.
It was the big. Dog.
Yeah.
Now I only think you can get it at the dollar store, isn't it?
I haven't seen it at Save On in a long time. Like that's usually where I get my hair products.
I don't have to use it anymore, so it's fine.
As I say, Cass is having a great hair day. I don't think
Gager's out of the game.
Gager or I don't have great hair days. Mine's just a mess, and yours just doesn't exist. Yeah.
My son though, he wanted to grow a beard, and he left it on the move. It's some Arlo beard growth oil.
Really?
Yeah. And it smells, it's like cedar wood something. It smells divine. And I throw that on my on my face, just so I can feel like I have some sort of product that I can put close to my
something.
That's nice.
Yeah. So,
Well,
yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I use you have to. I mean, because I've had the beard for a while, and it kind of goes. And I'm getting to the point like now that it's warming up, I'll probably trim it down. Like we'll cut this sucker down. But I got a little tincture of beard oil as well because it gets dry. Right, it gets dry, so it's like you throw some of that on there, and it helps quite a bit. Otherwise, it's like you're shedding dandruff all over your dark shirts from your face, which isn't ideal.
Cass, may I have a quick suggestion for your beard?
Okay, let's hear it.
March 1st is Saturday. That's when we start to celebrate Chin Strap Awareness Month. So if you wouldn't mind, I mean, in the process of shaving off said beard, maybe go with a chin strap come Tuesday on Two Guys and a Goalie. Join me in celebrating and ending the stigma.
Here's a question, and I'm totally on board with that. Does it like if I don't go down to the wood on the mustache?
Yeah.
Does that still count as a chin strap? Like if there's still some here, but it's like way shorter here, and then you keep the rest? Like
I would. You know what? I know a lot of people be like, Dusty, you've been soft all day today.
Yeah.
I would probably let that slide if the chin hair was much thicker than whatever you had left on the lip. Hey, Gage, don't you think that would be fair? Like, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like
that's
for you,
fair.
it would be tough because your mustache is still very dark.
Yeah.
But like the
rest is
kind of grayish. So yeah, that would be.
Yeah,
you would actually look hilarious if you
with a white chin strap.
With a white chin strap.
Maybe I'll see how it looks.
That would be funny.
That would be awesome.
I'm planning on getting a haircut maybe tomorrow because the chin strap looks better with shorter hair.
Yeah.
It just does.
Yeah.
Right. So
I mean, Cass doing that, that's like, you know how you see beards and they have names, they name the certain style, like the mutton chops or what have you. Like I guess yours would be chin strap mouth guard, right, Cass? If you had a little bit on the
there you go.
on the top, you might be able to go chin strap mouth guard.
Chin strap mouth guard. Do that, Cass. let's just all get creative, right? Max Pazuzu says that's not a chin strap. That's a facial taper fade. I don't know all the wording for it, but I will have a chin strap on Monday's show, on the Nielson show Monday morning.
Can't wait.
Love it.
Yeah, it'll be good. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Two Guys and a Goalie, brought to you by GS Construction, setting the industry standard for 50 years with quality, efficiency, and safety driving their success. GS Construction has a foundation built on teamwork, and now they want you to become a part of the team. Visit www.gsconstruction.ca and click Ready to Work, or visit their page at Indeed.ca. With the Next Up Person program at GS Construction, it's not just a job, it is a career. Gager, I wonder if GS Construction is a member of the Edmonton Chamber of Commerce.
Ooh.
Gotta be, don't you think?
They have to be.
I would think they're probably. So now we have something in common because we're also members of the Chamber of Commerce now.
Probably why I can't get in touch with Sandy on a Friday, right? Because he's probably there.
He's doing chamber stuff. He's inside, and there's no phones allowed inside the Chamber of Commerce. So
the signal can't penetrate.
No, I can't penetrate the thick walls. You did a great job in the final scene of the chamber video.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. How many takes did it take you?
3.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, yeah.
That's not bad.
I think it was, we had to get it right.
Of course.
Trev's like a young Coppola, with his directorial skills.
Yeah.
He goes, okay, we want that. We want
funny
that.
little moves and stuff.
So he was,
I was going to say more Scorsese.
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe a blend of both.
Scorsese's doing a movie with The Rock coming up. Did you see this?
No.
Leonardo DiCaprio and The Rock, and it's a cross between Goodfellas and The Departed.
That'll be great.
I guess he's a Hawaiian mob boss. Surprise. I mean,
is he going to do the haka?
Maybe. That would be good. I hope he sings something from Moana too. Yeah.
I kind of looking forward to the live action Moana. Like he's going to be the.
That'll be good. He could do a good Maui. I think that'll be good. I saw Moana 2 twice already. I went to the theater last night.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like the theater.
What'd you see?
What's that? No. I like to the Citadel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got put on a nicer shirt, and we went and saw the Frozen Broadway play.
I took the girls this weekend.
Yeah. What'd you think? I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I took them on Saturday. It was really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
You go
get the sausage. We'll talk about the Frozen thing. It was really good.
It was great. Yeah. Yeah, it was first experience for the girls. And I love theater and like musicals and that sort of stuff. But first time, like we've taken the kids to like the local high school theater, like musicals, like they did like Little Mermaid last year, I think it was. And it's like, and they love that. So I'm like, okay, like here, let's take them to a real like professional production. And it was awesome. It was a lot of fun. The girls had a blast. Yeah, it was just good. It was just
this was like the first one that our kids had been to too, like a full blown sort of Broadway play. And I liked a lot of the original songs that they had mixed in there, not just from the movie. I thought were really well done. And Elizabeth, I saw her face when Elsa like takes her clothes, like moves to the fancy dress and like goes like this and the other clothes just disappear. I looked down at Elizabeth and Elizabeth was like, like she was just, it was a huge moment. And they loved the ice cream there too. So they had a really good time. It was a little bit of a late night for our kids. We didn't get home till like 10:30, but it was nice. It was that's a nice theater. I'd never been there.
It's awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. We were able to do it, like we did the afternoon show. So it was perfect because it was like started at either 1 or 1:30. I can't remember.
Okay,
so it was like
nice.
you're home
That's
for,
good then,
home for dinner after, which was perfect. The big moment for them was that they were just all dying, howling, laughing was when Sven came out because that was an awesome costume.
Yeah.
Right. Like the reindeer. Like
that was an amazing. You should see the costume that they had for this reindeer.
Yeah.
I think that was one guy in there, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It was interesting. They had one guy in this huge reindeer. It was
my wife. She'd skated for Disney on Ice?
I don't think I'm like stunned by that. I think I might have known.
So she toured with Disney. She was.
I'm not shocked, but I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. So she like the costumes. She always talks about how elaborate they were. Right. She was a wicked stepsister in Cinderella, though. So just lots of makeup. That was it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How long did she do that for?
A year. I think.
Oh, that's a fun year.
Yeah.
Like that's a fun year. Go live that little dream of.
Well, it was. I mean, it's a sweatshop league for figure skaters. Right?
How many nights are they doing? Like
two nights, 3 on Sunday, and just no pay.
That's
really?
Oh yeah.
So you're just looking for exposure in the figure skating game?
Yeah. It's funny because she said the one time the Russian contingent would be over, and then they would get to a place and just all defect. Like I guess it was Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, outside of Hershey.
They'd run away.
Yeah, that's where a bunch of them just left.
They came over to play baseball. They're trying to sneak. They're trying to sneak away. All right, the Edmonton Oilers. We'll get to their line combinations. But Cass, let's just start with this, man. Like, what do you need to see from this team tonight against Florida? Oh, wait a second. Brundon just finished Maddie's Rubik's Cube. Oh, he did yours too? A minute and 30 seconds for the. That's why his new nickname's Cube.
Oh,
it's perfect. Cube does it again. He just did a Rubik's Cube in a minute and 30 seconds.
Wow.
That's crazy.
God.
Yeah.
Have you ever even messed around?
I've messed around, but my son can do it. Like he can do it.
Can he really?
Oh yeah.
So did he watch a thing online?
He studied for a while.
Yeah.
And then I would give him any Rubik's Cube just to mess around, and he'd go, and then and he'd have it done.
Really?
Yeah.
God, I think I got a video. I want to try to do that.
I think I got a video of it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Cass, what about you? Have you Rubik's Cubed?
No. I think I looked at a guide on how to do it once, and then I was like, I don't really need to know this. Yeah.
Yeah.
so I just quit. And
What's
it was
crazy
like my kids
those
had one.
competitions, though.
Yeah,
You see those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the one where they're juggling?
Yeah.
Have you seen the guy?
I've seen the guy juggle, and he's moving him with his thumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to solve, like, it's how fast you can solve 3 Rubik's Cubes while juggling. Just nuts. Just nuts.
That's just showing off at that point.
Yeah, but for me, I'm like, I can't spend the time to learn how to do this. So
I'm just looking on Wikipedia. It's under speed cubing.
Okay.
As of February 2025, the world record for the fastest single solve of a Rubik's Cube in a competitive setting stands at 3.08 seconds.
Oh my God.
I don't even know how that's possible. I mean, how do you?
It's got to be a slick one too, because sometimes it
has to go because the one Maddie had is like sort of sticky.
Yeah.
Cube's got one that just boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
So, yeah. 3.03 seconds. God, that's crazy. Okay, anyway, We got distracted by the big celebration. Cass, what do we need to see from the Oilers tonight? Win or lose, what do you have to come away with from this game?
Well, if we're looking at this as the Rubik's Cube for the Edmonton Oilers of sorting out, I mean, like, play a good game. Is that what we need to see? You know, a bounce back where they're actually invested in the game. More than anything, I think what we need to see is a controlled game through the neutral zone where they're not just turning everything over, because that's what's absolutely crushed them these last three. Is like the captain turnovers kind of just like puts an exclamation point on it, where it's like they have been so lax and so poor at execution through the neutral zone that it's just absolutely murdered them. So what do they need to do? What do we need to see? Well, A, we need to see a full 60 minutes where we actually have people playing and pushing through the entire time. And B, we got to see him actually make some passes in the neutral zone. Like, how about clean that up a little bit and maintain possession and not have just pace coming right back at you? Because you know Florida's going to play with pace, and they're going to be aggressive and attack, and they're going to pressure. And if you turn that puck over in the neutral zone frequently against them, like, you're setting yourself up for another long night. So yeah, I mean, clean up the neutral zone and actually be invested in the game. I mean, those are the two big things for me.
Doesn't sound too difficult, does it, Gager?
With this team, yes, right now, and especially against a Florida Panthers team that arguably has one of the best forward checks in the league. Like,
yeah, they don't give you any time, do they?
And now you have Darnell Nurse out. We've talked at length about number 2. We don't need to touch on that, I don't think. But the decision making has to be way above what it has been through in your defensive zone, neutral zone, offensive zone. Like, you need to be playing a little bit more chess-like, a few moves ahead, recognizing where your options are going to be. You can't just get the puck and decide, oh, what am I going to do now, right? You got to know what. Yeah. You have to. The Oilers have to play with purpose tonight if they want to have any sort of success. I'm still. I don't think they come away with a win.
You don't think so? He's just not there yet?
No. I mean, like Cass said, I'd like to see a better game from them, but I just don't think that they'll be able to handle the Florida Panthers tonight.
Cass, like, how much should we read into the circumstances of this game if they come out and lay another dud? I mean, there's been 3 of them since they returned, but this one's against Florida in the place you lost the Stanley Cup Game 7 last year. Like, to me, I mean, if you can't find what you guys have been talking about for tonight, then I actually might legitimately start to get a little bit concerned about the group.
Yeah. I think that's fair because it should be an emotional game, right? Like, it is Florida. It's where you lost the cup. And not everyone that's on the roster now was there. And I get that. But as a whole, you should be able to be emotionally up for this game. Like, you should realize you've lost 4 in a row, 3 since coming out of the break. You haven't played very well. You're playing the defending Stanley Cup champions that beat you. Like, you gotta find a way here, guys. You have to find a way to be able to play with some jam. And, it's a check your pulse type of game where if you don't show up, it is like, check your pulse, man. Like,
yes,
something's going on. And I would, they're still in a good position. I'm not, and haven't jumped on the bandwagon of, the season's over because they've lost 4 in a row. But if they lose today, I think you kind of have to look at it and say, okay, they're putting themselves where it brings me fear, or I guess what I get afraid of. If they drop this one today and play horrible, is you are going to force management into a position of having to either pay more for a trade or do something drastic that maybe you wouldn't have done otherwise. And that, to me, is the risk of having to overcompensate and overreact as a management team based on how your team has played coming out of this break. So,
Gager, how much are they going to miss Darnell Nurse tonight?
Too much. Way too much. But I wonder, like, so you get into Miami, you probably check into the same hotel, you the same routes, the same routine. I mean, obviously it wasn't for all those guys. They go to the rink, the same.
Should have switched it up.
Like, Dusty, do you think that that'll have an effect on the tonight? Like when you go back into 1260, do you use like, oh gosh, this is where they let us go?
I do go back in there sometimes. I have to actually go there today and pick up my T4 for the CFL and TSN stuff. And what do they say in Rounders? It's like Buckner walking back into Shea. Like it's that's kind of what it is. I mean, you walk in there and I look down the hallway where we all got walked out, and I'm like, damn, this sucks. Yeah, that's not good. That would kind of be the feel.
It would
I
suck.
guess. Like, yeah,
I think the wound is still fresh. I don't think it might be a scab, but it definitely hasn't completely healed over.
Ekholm, Bouchard, Stetcher, Emberson, Kulak, Klingberg will be the three pairs tonight. Cass, how much of Stetcher and Emberson do you think we'll end up seeing?
Not very much.
14,
Not very much.
15 minutes type of thing?
I was gonna say 12.
Yeah.
I don't think you can.
12. I don't think you're gonna see. Yeah, not against Florida. No, if this was Chicago, 15, 16 maybe, but against Florida, you're gonna see him 12, maybe 13 minutes, and that's it. And no, yeah, you're not gonna trust him against the pressure of that forecheck, and I understand why you wouldn't.
Do you think that what do you expect, or how do you expect Bouchard to respond after these last few games? Like, I mean, he came out and gave pizza off the first shift last time.
I know. Well, first of all, I wouldn't have him on the ice to start a game. Like, that might be the one way you try to hold him a bit accountable. It's just like, hey, man, we can't start you with the way you're playing right now. Not that, like, starting in hockey is a huge thing, but
sets a tone.
Yeah, well, it does. I mean, he's like, the tone he set has been lackluster, shitty play. I don't think you can do that. Like, but guys, here's the thing. And I know I'm interrupting, but I want to interrupt. I like when you interrupt.
Is still for the lackluster play in his defensive zone, for the turnovers in the defensive zone, he's still finding ways to help the offense produce as a whole. Now, the last couple of games, the offense has been bad too, so it hasn't been there. But I'm not saying the criticism of Evan Bouchard is unwarranted. I was fully critical of him and have been fully critical of his defensive zone snafus or mistakes or whatever you want to call them. But the reality is he still produces more offense and provides more offense than he gives up. And so I'm still cautious to be like, to say, he's made big mistakes early, we're not going to start you. I think that's one thing, but I don't know.
Would you do that at least? Would you do that?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was going to say, I don't think we're at the point where it's like you're going to be sitting them.
Yeah, I don't think they were
for a significant amount of time in the game. Like
they would never do that, and I don't think they should. Like their blue. Look at their blue line. We're talking about how they have to play Stetcher and Emberson like 12 minutes tonight. Like it's.
Do you start Emberson with Ekholm?
Now that would be interesting because that would kind of send a message, right?
That would kind of
just to start, and then after that, I mean that would send a message. But I don't like. Well, Gage, what did you ask? You said what do you expect from Bouchard?
Yeah.
Cass, what do you expect from Bouchard tonight? I mean, my answer, which is a negative spin on it, but my answer is kind of just more of the same. Like this is kind of just who he is. Like,
well, the reason why I asked that was kind of the whole thing going back to where that happened before. If you really go back and look at it, Bouchard was playing the best hockey he's ever played in that series. So maybe that's. He goes in and goes, you know what? I played really well here. Yeah, we lost, but I was my game was at a really high level. So maybe he gets a little glimpse or familiarity of being in that situation again and finds that kind of form again. I don't know.
I don't know. You hope.
I just hope he doesn't get tapped out by Ekblad again.
Oh, stop it, Dusty.
Well,
Jesus.
I mean, I don't know if that was the softest moment maybe in the history of hockey. Like that was a tough look. So maybe he uses that for motivation. Somebody in the chat was like, Corey Perry should fight somebody right off the draw. And I mean, I don't even want to get into that conversation, but the fact that Corey Perry has to be the guy that you look to do that, it kind of just summarizes, I think, Cass, what you talked about a couple days ago on the a little bit more sandpaper on the bottom six would probably go a long way here.
I think it really would. I don't think like Matthew Tkachuk's not playing. I don't think. Well, maybe from an emotional spark standpoint, maybe
Bennett.
someone dropping the gloves. Yeah, you got Bennett. You got some guys that you could try to rile up over there.
I don't necessarily know if it helps things, but the Oilers were winning games at the beginning of the year when they were fighting everybody.
You could, I think you could sell tickets to a Nuge Bennett undercard.
Oh, good for Nuge. Eh?
Yeah.
Maybe a step up for Nuge.
Yeah, it would be.
It would be, but that would rally people.
That'd get me off the couch.
Yeah. I just don't see the team being in that spot right now.
I would love for Nuge to, like, he slammed the stick against the glass after that last goal, and maybe he just takes it upon himself. He goes, you know what?
Pretty legendary move if Nuge fights Bennett like off the draw and they win the game and they get things back on track.
I'm gonna light this game up tonight because he's probably gonna play against Bennett at some point. Yeah, you would think.
Yeah.
And go, hey, Sammy, let's tango here.
Let's go. Yeah.
All right, let's get into the line combinations here tonight because it's a little bit interesting up front. They are going to put Ryan Nugent-Hopkins back on the wing with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman. Jeff Skinner will draw back in. If he scores tonight, will he be out next game? We'll have to wait and see. But Skinner is going to play with Draisaitl and Arvidsson, who must have written into his contract he gets to play top six. Henrique with Matthias Janmark and Brown, then Kapanen with Perry and Podkolzin, and Matt Savoy will be the guy who's, and I know I see a lot of fire from fans about like why is Savoy not in. I totally get it, and I'm kind of with you, but I'm also like they've lost 3 in a row, not to do with Savoy because he's been one of their more consistent forwards.
He's been pretty good,
but I wonder if they're just going veteran heavy lineup to try to get out of this against the Panthers. And I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can maybe see them justifying it that way. Cass, first of all, what do you think of Savoy not drawn in?
I mean, he hasn't been the problem. I thought he's played pretty well, and he's actually fitting quite nicely with Draisaitl. And one thing about the Florida Panthers that we already mentioned is their speed. And I'm like, okay, does having Arvidsson on that second line give you the speed that you're thinking is going to work with this? So, the mindset has to be where exactly as you stated, which is we're going to go with a really veteran lineup, and we're going to try to pull this thing back together with that. But I don't know if that's the right idea. I mean, that was the head scratcher was the Skinner being out of the lineup, so he absolutely should be back in. But I don't know. I've really liked Matt Savoy's game. Like, it has been a strong game. He hasn't made big mistakes. He's been pretty good on the forecheck, and he plays fast. So, I mean, maybe you're looking at this and going, well, we don't want him to play bottom 6 minutes, and we don't necessarily know if he's going to be a fit in that position. But I'm just kind of like, well, what has Arvidsson done to deserve to have a spot in that top 6? And
he hasn't.
He hasn't.
Yeah.
He hasn't. So it's a little bit of a head scratcher for me where I'm a little uncertain as well. I get, again, the motivation, I shouldn't say I'm uncertain about the motivation. I think the motivation is what you said, that they're going with the veteran lineup. They're saying, okay, the veterans are going to get us out of this. But I don't know if I like it.
Like, Savoy has been better since coming here in a small sample size than every forward that is in their bottom 6 tonight.
Yeah.
But he has been, right? And you said
but
it, he's kind of looked good alongside
Doesn't kill
Draisaitl.
penalties.
Yeah.
But it doesn't kill penalties.
Yeah, but this just
Even though their penalty
nobody
kill
on
has
this
been
team
garbage.
kills penalties.
Yeah.
They're 27th in the
penalty
league in penalty
garbage.
kill. Like, their penalty kill is not good. Had a nice little stretch there, but it's the 27th best penalty kill in the National
I don't
Hockey
know what
League,
Kapanen. I don't know what Kapanen's given you more than Matt Savoy
nothing.
in particular.
Like, that's
Even if you're going to say, okay, Arvidsson in the top 6, okay, I mean, doesn't deserve to be, but okay. What does Kapanen give you that Matt Savoy doesn't? Turnovers in the neutral zone that lead to goals? Like,
but it's true. Like, that has happened with him.
I know.
It just happened. I thought when that turnover happened and the puck went in, and then after they lost the game, that was the thought I had. I'm like, oh, Kapanen's probably got to be out of the lineup the next one. He's probably going to be the guy that Skinner comes in for. But clearly it's Matt Savoy.
So what do you think? What do you think it is, Gage? Why would he not be in tonight? Same thing we're thinking, like veteran, get out of it?
Yeah. Getting back, maybe get the put the band back together as much as possible from last year, go into Florida and win a game, right? That can jumpstart this type of turnaround at this right now for the Oilers, who have, I mean, over the last few games have just had a shovel and are digging deeper and deeper. Maybe this is just a slight glimpse of, and if they can pull this off, to get out of it. But again, without Darnell Nurse, at least people will see what a difference Darnell Nurse makes.
I'm interested to see that tonight.
Yeah. Let's. You know what? I'm going to. There's a few things that I'll probably have the ISO cam on. One is obviously the play of Bouchard, and not just the good things. I want to see the good plays that he makes, and see who picks up the slack for Nurse. I'll probably watch a lot of Emberson tonight too. See how he handles this type of forward check, because as we know, as the season goes on, and especially come playoff, it gears up to another level where you have to start making decisions a lot quicker. And he's had great progression this year. I think he's one of the bright lights this year of a guy that's come into this team and kind of carved out a solid place for himself. But he's going to have to find another level too. Like, you can't just. It's a good place where he's at now, but you're going to need more from him.
If you are watching us on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, it is Two Guys in Goalie with Nielson, Matt Kassian, Joaquin Gage, brought to you by GS Construction. Let's get to a couple of your text messages. RCN says, tonight would be a perfect night to split up 2 and 14 and roll your top 4, Ekholm, Emberson, Kulak, and Bouchard, and try to go that way a little bit. Maybe you can get more out of Emberson playing alongside Ekholm than the whole Stetcher thing, and then Klingberg with Cool. I don't mind. I don't mind what he's saying there. Rip City Step is in and says Nuge is due for destroying someone in a fight. It usually happens once every 3 seasons. It's that time. Pat in the County says maybe Bouchard needs Marshall Nielsen next to him, and he says, please don't chokehold my defenseman in the most polite fashion possible.
Oh, don't tap out.
Raj is in and says, any chance you 3 agree that the Arvidsson signing was awful? What does Bowman see in him that contributes to playoff success? He's not big or physical, easy to knock off the puck. What am I missing? That's in from Raj. And I like the idea of Arvidsson in the offseason. Like when they were making all the moves, I was like, I was probably even more Arvidsson than Henrique, to be honest with you. What's that, Cass?
Yeah. We all said it was an upgrade on Fogel.
Yeah.
That's what we thought.
Fogel scored his 16th of the season last night, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you couldn't pay him like what he was wanting for the
He makes less than Arvidsson.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, technically, if you're willing to pay Arvidsson for it, you could have paid Fogel. He's got more points than him and kills penalties just as well and is bigger and faster.
Yeah, I thought you would get and maybe Arvidsson's game is better suited for the playoffs, right? Maybe the tenacious on pucks, getting in guys' equipment. Because we saw with the Kings, he was annoying. Like
he was annoying.
Very annoying.
Has he been annoying for the Oilers, you think? Like,
no, not yet.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Why is he not being annoying, Cass? What's going on here?
He's not diving.
No, that's what he needs to do.
Yeah.
He needs to be annoying. That's what we need from him.
He needs to be pesty, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. He needs to get other teams thinking more about him than the game itself. And I think, he was driving certain Oilers crazy in the corners. Look what he did. I remember that one battle with Ekholm in the corner last year. Like, those guys like each other, and he wouldn't give up. You haven't seen that at all from him this year. I think it's still there, but maybe that getting into a 7-game series with someone and you start develop that rivalry, that hatred towards the other guys across from you.
You might sell me on that.
Maybe that lights it a little bit for him, where he goes, "Oh, I can mess this guy up," right?
Cash, you think he could be a little bit more pesty if you just put him in the bottom 6 and says that's your job down there, as opposed to leaving him up top?
That's kind of where I'm surprised they haven't done that.
I know.
Right, like because he pretty much is not exclusively played in the top 6, but he's
more of his time has been in the top 6 though. Yeah.
So is that a fault of the coaching staff not getting like squeezing enough juice from this orange as possible? Like, because now you're changing the role of that player where you envisioned him when you signed him. He was that pesky, tenacious forward that drove people crazy. You bring him here, you put him in your top 6. Now in Arvidsson's mind is like, oh, I'm playing with Leon Draisaitl. I gotta produce point wise. I gotta start putting up numbers, and it's kind of taken him out of what's made him so successful. Really, over every time that I've watched him in the past wearing a different colored jersey.
Yeah. I think there's a way to unlock him still.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe there's a playoff conversation to be had there. Anyway, Raj, thanks for the text. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. Max Pazuzu says, I think it's basic that as we are seeing, as basic as in we were seeing playoff Arvidsson, and now we are currently watching 11th regular season Arvidsson. So hopefully there's another playoff Arvidsson in there as well. Hey, Trev, you got those hired or fired questions? Oh, you emailed them to me? Perfect. Thanks, buddy. I had Trev do the... Trev, I never got him on the email. I don't know. I'm not seeing him, buddy. Send him again. Anyway, I'm very interested because it's always exciting for me when usually I have everything planned out. And I'm like, can you do the questions today?
He's coming off a big win, too, at the mitt. He can't take that thing off.
Oh,
maybe that's why he couldn't send it, because the mitt's on there. He kept pressing
maybe that's what it is, yeah. He didn't check it off a bunch of boxes. He edited that chamber video, came out nicely.
Yeah.
One hot takes. He's been working on another video.
I might have to knock him down a few pegs here. He's...
Did you give him the win today just because he'd won one less than us?
Look at the nasty chat. There was a lot of people that said, "Oh, Trev for the win." He's yelling.
Yeah. No, he had some pretty good takes today. He had some
good ones. I like the Matthews take. Right? The C stands for.
Oh yeah. In the corner there. Yeah, that was.
It's perfect.
That was pretty good. Guys, with Emerson taking strides forward in his development this season, do you think he is now a better defenseman than CC was last year? Cass, you're a big CC guy. Your thoughts on... I mean, that's an interesting question, actually, I think.
It's an interesting question, but the answer is no.
Okay.
And it's an easy no. No, he's not. No, he's not. Would you trust Emerson to play top minutes against the other team's top line at this point on an every night basis? Not once in a blue moon, but every single night.
I would say no.
But we haven't seen it.
Okay, but I'd also say I don't know if I necessarily trusted CC to do that, but I did trust him more to do that than I would Emerson at this point, I guess is what. So, yeah, I guess I'd be with you on that.
Took you within one goal of the Stanley Cup final playing those minutes, so.
And
I'm biased. I know that.
You're a little biased, but you got to. I think you have a point there, Cass. I think he can.
It's a good question.
His ceiling's higher, though. But
you think so?
From what I've seen, it keeps getting better, right?
Do you think there's any offense in there at all?
No.
So you're thinking just ceiling as like a third pair, right? But CC was more than that in his career, though, right, Cass? Like CC played pretty good top 4 minutes in a lot of places that he was at.
Where's he playing in Dallas right now, right?
Yeah, he got traded.
Yeah, so
he went over with Granlund, I think.
Yeah.
Cass Freeze. Oh no, I think was he muted?
No. I just trading all my old teammates. No.
Yeah,
I was just listening.
moving everybody out there. All right, 780-218-9999. All right, let's dive into Hired or Fired. Trev emailed the questions. I must have taken off the mitt and hit send. All right, so Hired or Fired brought to you by GS Construction. They're always hiring, and they're hiring right now. Visit gsconstruction.ca or visit their page on indeed.ca. For the past 50 years, the foundation of GS Construction has been built on efficiency, quality, and safety. Take your career to the next level. Join Sam and the team over at GS Construction. Speaking of Trev, you had some nice advice for Trev today on how he could turn all of his coffees into, $11,000 in investment over the next decade?
Yeah. It just piqued my interest. Like, how are you spend? That's a lot of money you're spending on coffees.
The way you added it up, and first of all, he's getting a pretty nice coffee for $6.
Yeah.
I mean, he could dial the coffees back. What's a coffee cost nowadays? Because I only get tea, and I'll get like a $2 tea.
Yeah, it's about like $2.50, I guess.
Okay, so he's getting a fancy coffee.
He's getting a fancy.
How much you spend on coffee?
I make my coffee at home.
Yeah.
And not Keurig, because that stuff's gross.
Really?
Like I will buy good coffee. Like it's not.
So
I
you're
don't
like
buy
grinding the
at the grocery
beans.
store, grinding the beans yourself, and it works out to be like 50 cents a cup, ish, maybe less. So I mean, and it tastes way better.
It's financially a smart
you
play.
get it because there's some good local coffee roasteries that you can support a local business. And if you just buy their beans, grind it, get a good grinder, not a blade grinder. That's not a grinder. That's a breaker. Get an actual conical burr, real grinder, grind your own beans and make your own coffee in the morning. Yeah. You can save $4 or $5 a cup at least.
Now you're just sounding like a real coffee snob with all this.
I'm a huge coffee snob now.
Yeah.
My wife calls me that. She's like, you realize you're a coffee snob now? I'm like, yep.
Is she a coffee snob and you joined her in that, or you just became one on your own?
No, I became one of my own.
Oh, good for you.
I became one of my own. She still puts she loves putting like the flavored. She's got like the sugar-free syrup or whatever.
Okay.
But she puts way too much sweetener. I'm like, you can't even taste the coffee. I'm like, it just tastes like syrup.
See, that's why I put that in my list of things too.
Yeah.
I think I added that was about $40 a month just in sweetener, and he was still because he likes the sauce.
And he was still coming out.
Still
so
coming
much.
out on
Yeah.
time. I mean, I go to the Italian Center. That's good.
That's good. Yeah.
For get my Lavazza Italian roasted beans.
What?
Yeah.
Lavazza?
Yeah.
Wait, you're a coffee snob too?
Oh yeah. I grind it. I have a Breville like espresso maker.
What's a Breville? Is it a type of or
yeah,
a brand?
it's a type. It's a type.
No,
of,
that's a brand.
It's a brand.
Okay, it's a brand.
It's a brand of espresso maker.
Okay.
Right. So the grinder's built in, and I have the extra attachments for the funnel. I got the nice one that pours it out all straight. I have the rake after it's ground to put in. Then I press it down. Get it
Oh
all
my
nice.
goodness.
Yeah.
Holy
I should
smokes.
record it. Actually, I'll record it.
You should. That sounds like a TikTok video.
But yeah, if I were to like buy that coffee at a place, it would probably be close to $7.
Jeez.
I'm sure.
Coffee's a very expensive habit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jeez. All right. Let's get to this. These were submitted by Coffee Boy there, Trev. If Jeff Skinner scores tonight, he'll be healthy scratch next game. Hire it or fire it.
Hire it. Hire it. Of course. The obvious choice.
I don't know what more you really need to like. He's your best goal scorer outside of the big four up front.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy should be in the lineup.
I don't see how you don't hire it just because it's been what's happening over the last few months. Yeah. Hire it.
If he scores 3 tonight, he may not play in the month of March. That's it. Like just save him for the playoffs at that
You
point.
have scored too much. Yeah.
All right. Prior to the deadline, the Oilers need to make a significant move. Hire it or fire it.
Hire it.
Hire it.
Okay. Now, what's the level of significance here that we're talking, boys?
Top 4 defensemen.
Okay, so you're not messing around. You're going straight to the top 4. None of this number 5 who plays the left side who might be able to slide. You're just talking straight up land a number 4.
Straight up land
At
number
minimum.
4 defenseman.
Yeah.
At minimum.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd agree. I had a big, strong scoring winger, but that might be. I don't think that's Evander Kane.
Who knows? I mean, I don't even know what to talk about in that conversation anymore. I think if you don't get that defenseman, whatever other moves you make are just a waste of time anyway.
Yeah.
Like you have to address that one spot on the blue line. The Los Angeles Kings, who do have a better winning percentage right now, the Los Angeles Kings will finish higher in the standings than the Edmonton Oilers. Hired or fired? They're 2 points back with 2 games in hand and are unreal at home this year.
I'm going to fire it. I think the Oilers kind of figure this thing out and somehow stay ahead of the Kings.
Yeah. I think you fire it. They were. I mean, I know the games have sucked here and they haven't played very well, but they still are in a decent position. I gotta agree with you, Gager. I think they stay in front of them.
Alexander Ovechkin will reach 1,000 career goals. Hired or fired?
So he's at 8. So what is it? He has to get to
He
890.
needs to get to 895 for the record.
895.
He's 12 away from that. He'd probably have to play 3 more seasons after this to get to 1,000. I don't think he's got 3 years left in him.
Yeah, I got to fire it. And of course, he'll probably play another 5.
Can you believe Ovechkin scored 1,100 goals?
I mean, it's ridiculous what he's doing now, and I probably shouldn't doubt him. But yeah, I'll fire it. That's a lot.
You're going to fire it. Are you, Cass? This hesitation's surprising me.
I got to hire it.
Really?
Yeah, he hits 1,000.
I mean, he's on a good team.
He wants it.
Yeah, he's on a great.
He's got the second most goals per game this year behind Draisaitl. Like, he's not washed.
And their cupboards are full with new talent coming to Washington too. Like they're going to be good for a while.
Yeah, they got some. They have one. Ryan Leonard.
Yeah,
they got the Leonard kid from the U.S. I think
it looks really good. I mean, I was always worried about because he doesn't have Backstrom anymore, but he's going to have someone feeding him over there, and he is lighting goalies up still. That one timer that he blew past Pickard, I'm like,
vintage. Vintage.
Just back the other way against the green, and just like it came out harder than it went in.
Did you say against the green?
Grain.
Oh, I thought you said green, and I thought I was saying the saying wrong for the last 20 years.
Oh, no.
I was like,
worry,
oh my
Dustin.
God, please tell me it's not against the green.
It's like singing a
I'm
song
going to feel
wrong.
like an idiot. Oh, God. That scared me for a second. All right, let's go with this one. Arvidsson has been the most disappointing Oiler so far this season. Hire it or fire it.
I am going to fire it. I think the most disappointing Oiler all year has been Evander Kane. Because we don't know what he's up to.
Still don't know the timeline even on him.
We don't know this. And maybe this is just they're keeping the information. Maybe it's at the Chamber of Commerce. Maybe the secret.
We'll find it one day.
But just not knowing if the Oilers don't know what type of position they're in to get so-called third or fourth place defenseman to come into the lineup, that's a huge problem. So I'm going to go with Evander.
Hire it. He's been incredibly disappointing. Hasn't done anything, and has consistently found ways to not do anything. So I gotta hire it.
If I had any sort of moderate expectations from Matthias Janmark prior to the season, I might go with him because he hasn't shot a puck past a goalie yet. He scored an empty netter, and then he had one bounce off his ass, and that's all he scored this year. And he's in the lineup all the time.
But you didn't have expectations, though. Like, you can't have expectations. Like,
well, I expected him to score 10, and it's March, and he hasn't scored on a goalie yet. I mean,
yeah,
that's not that good. But I mean, I thought Arvidsson was going to be a really nice fit here.
Oh,
I really did. I mean, I could see why they liked him. But, he'd probably be up there.
It's a tough look because the direct comparison is Fogle, too. That doesn't help with the success.
Like back in the other spot, too. Like they just switched. They flipped him. Gordon McDowell over in the Nasty Chat says Henrique has been a huge disappointment. And there's a few Bouchard answers in there as well. Hire it or fire it. The Jets will break or tie the Oilers' 16-game win streak from last season. They go for 12 tonight in Nashville. I had it. We went over it on the lock shop. Let me bring it up. It's not a crazy schedule, but it's not just a bunch of cupcakes either. Here's the Jets schedule that would get them up. So what? They're going for 12 tonight. So if they win tonight, they need 4 more to tie. They have the Philly, Islanders, Philly, Devils. That would tie them at 16 if they win tonight.
Well, tonight's Nashville. That's a chocolate chip muffin. Then Phillies, those are all muffins, man. And the last one, the New Jersey one.
The New Jersey game, that would tie the 16.
I'm going to fire it. I think they get close and then lose to Jersey last.
Tonight is 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Comrie will be in net.
I'm gonna fire it. It's incredibly hard to do. I mean, that's a reason that barely anybody ever does it. And yeah, I got to go with fire it. I don't think they do. They might get close, but yeah.
Hell of a run, especially when they started the year like 14 and 2.
Yeah.
The Jets have been Jets have been
Really
they've
good.
been pretty good as of late, and they've got a bunch of guys scoring. Like they're very deep. And Hellebuck obviously has had a really good season so far. All right, hey, I don't know if we've discussed this. You saw Brave New World, eh?
Yeah.
I don't think have we talked about that?
No, we haven't.
Katz, did you see
gave it a
Brave New
6.
World? You didn't see the new Captain America, Brave New World yet?
No.
Okay, don't technically want to spoil it for you. You know that Red Hulk is in this, right?
Yeah.
That was my favorite part. Like when Harrison Ford became Red Hulk, I thought Red Hulk looked better than regular Hulk.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, wow, Red Hulk looks bad. Red Hulk was handsome.
Yeah, he
like
looked
he had
really
like
good.
that younger Harrison Ford ruggedness to him. Red Hulk was handsome. He was handsome.
He looked like a young Han Solo with his shirt off with red paint on him.
Yeah, that is pretty much what it looked like.
Sure had red paint on him.
That part was good. What did I say? I gave it today? Well, 6.5. Was that fair? Would you have it higher?
I gave it a 7.
Yeah.
I was like,
I liked it.
It got kind of torched, but I liked the intrigue. It kind of went back to the Winter Soldier with the espionage.
One, it dialed it way back too to like the Edward Norton Hulk.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that's a big part of this.
Yeah. I liked it, man. I didn't have too. I hoped it would have been a little bit better, but I came away. My son and I came away going, that's not bad.
Yeah, like a good movie.
Yeah.
Like, it was a good movie.
I'll watch it again.
It wasn't Endgame or Infinity War.
No, but you're not.
But I thought it was better than like Marvels and some of the other ones that we've seen.
Yeah,
So
Eternals and stuff
yeah,
like that.
it was to me, it was above that group of other things that aren't really connected.
It got a little campy with Anthony Mackie or whatever, but that's fine stuff. I mean, it's not going to be completely serious. I wanted kind of a full Jason Bourne kind, all serious.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I thought. Then
Yeah.
they have to have some levity in there.
You know what I'm fighting with? I'm fighting with seeing Captain America with wings.
Oh,
Like I'm having a hard time not thinking he's Falcon stealing somebody else's outfit.
and his sidekick has a
That's
great.
kind of
name.
the point, isn't it?
What's that, Cass?
He's Falcon stealing someone else's outfit. Not
Well, but
stealing,
he's
being given someone else's.
he's
outfit.
been labeled as Captain America now, though.
Yeah.
Like, and I just, to me, he's Falcon. I don't know. Like, I haven't read the comics. Like, I don't know where this storyline is supposed to go. But
it does set up Thunderbolts a little bit, Cass. So, and I hope
hopeful.
that's good.
Again, always hopeful.
Yeah.
well, it was interesting when they said they want Anthony Mackie to rebuild the Avengers.
Yeah.
And I think Thunderbolts is Thunderbolts with an asterisk on it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, like unless they dropped that, I'm pretty sure I saw that. Anyway,
They still have it, yeah.
I didn't mind. I liked it. I thought it was.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go back to the theater and watch it again.
No.
but I'll watch it again at some point.
I am very hopeful that my next Marvel project is the next Daredevil, Born Again.
That's coming out this week, right? Like this weekend, March 4th or something.
Still my favorite
Next
full series it's on Disney Plus. You go back and watch that. The first season is fantastic.
I think I watched the first season. How many seasons were after that?
I think
though?
there's 3.
It fell off. I don't know. I must have caught a different show or something. But
Well, they joined with like Iron Fist and Iron
Punisher.
Yeah, Punisher.
Punisher involved there too,
Punisher
yeah.
series was really good.
That's John Barathol. Is that
Yeah.
Barathol? Yeah, I like that guy.
He's great.
He's great in the
this one,
Bear too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's predictions for tonight, boys. What do you got, Cass? Do they win tonight?
8-1 Florida.
Oh. I think Reed's already saying like 8-0 against Carolina. What do you got, Gage?
I'm gonna go 6-2 Florida. The Skinner gets pulled after the first.
Oh, Hernan, buckle up for the post game tonight, buddy. If Gager's prediction is true, Hernan's going to be like Ralph Wiggum in that moment you see his heart break. It's like, that's going to be tough. Gage, where can people go vote for your daughter? I wanted to get this in again,
just
too.
go
Yeah.
to my Twitter handle. It's pinned at the top of my page, Joaquin Gage 31, and you can. I think there's like probably about 8 hours left for round 3 of voting. She's still in first.
How many more rounds are there after
I think
this?
there's 2 more. I know.
Jeez, this is the hardest trophy to win in all of sports.
Yeah, this is harder than the cup.
It's right up there. What's coming up on EST Afternoons?
Obviously, we'll get you ready for the Stanley Cup rematch. Red Light District at 1:40. We got Zach to the Future again at 2
Zach to the
o'clock.
Future, nice.
And George Richards from Florida Hockey Now at
He's a
2:20.
beauty.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be a good one. Okay. EST Afternoons is coming up 1 o'clock right here on TuneIn, on iHeart, and at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. That's going to do it for two guys and a goalie. Join Tommy tonight. He'll be at the Westgate Boston Pizza for a pregame show starting at 4 o'clock. I'll be back breaking it all down one way or the other tomorrow morning on a Friday on the Nielson Show. So hopefully it's not a major buzzkill. But enjoy all of our afternoon shows here on EST, and I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. For Matt, Kassian, and Gager, I'm Dusty. Take it easy.